We all want our chameleons to be happy and healthy, but what are some of the signs of an unhappy or unhealthy chameleon? Today, I'm going to be going over 4 signs of an unhappy chameleon. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I first off want to say that we don't want to anthropomorphize our animals by putting emotions on them. So when I say unhappy, I don't mean that they are actually happy or unhappy. What I mean are things that are maybe signs of an unhealthy or a chameleon that's not thriving. That's a good way to put it, not thriving. So one of the first signs of a chameleon that isn't thriving or isn't doing well are closed eyes. Chameleons do not take naps. The only times their eyes should be closed are in the evenings when their lights are off and they're sleeping. So if your chameleon's eyes are closed during the daytime, this is bad and we need to do something to try and correct it. Now later on in the video, I'm going to be going over things that are probably the causes for why these behaviors are happening, but I just want to clarify that closed eyes are not good and chameleons do not take naps. Now, if your chameleon closes its eye for a second and kind of like moves its eye around and then opens it, that's totally fine, right? What I'm talking is prolonged periods of closing their eyes. This could be one eye, this could be both eyes. Neither of them are good. The second sign are dark colors. Now, dark colors could be totally normal. These could just be your chameleon's resting colors. They could be trying to absorb heat, or they could be stressed out and feeling very exposed in their enclosure. So it's important that you understand all the different circumstances and environmental things that could be causing your chameleon to change colors. Because yes, it is a chameleon, and yes, they do change colors, but we want to make sure it's for a good reason and not a bad reason. Third thing would be decreased appetite or not eating altogether. Now, this could be within a totally normal behavior if you had just brought your chameleon home or made lots of changes to their enclosure, or decreased appetite could be a sign that something's not going well. So again, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. The fourth and final thing that I want to talk about a sign of an unhappy chameleon is that they want to come out of their enclosure all the time. You could have a chameleon that's inherently friendly or not very fearful and just is eager and wanting to come out. That could be great, wonderful, love it. Or there could be something wrong with their enclosure that's causing them to want to come out all of the time. So let's talk about some of those things. A thing I see a lot of times with new keepers is that there's not enough hiding places. This is what can cause your chameleon to turn a darker color, not eat, and maybe want to come out all the time because they don't have anywhere to feel safe and secure. I want you to take a step back, look at your enclosure, and see if there are any empty spaces. Any empty space is unused space. We want to make sure that we provide our chameleons lots of places to hide. Now, baby chameleons especially need tons of bushy plants to hide in. Adult chameleons, not as much because they're going to be climbing and their bodies are just much bigger than a smaller baby, so they can't really get in to those bushier plants. So I tend to leave my adult enclosures a little more open just so they can climb around a little easier. But any empty space is unused space. And a lot of times I see chameleon keepers that only have 3 or 4 plants in there. I have like 10 to 15 plants inside of mine. Also, we want to make sure that those branches that you have at the top of the enclosure, you also provide at the bottom of the enclosure so they are able to climb down there as well. Another thing that could be causing these behaviors is if your enclosure is too hot. So you want your basking temperature, that warmest part of your enclosure, to be around 80-85. Now that's going to be a couple inches above your basking branch. If your enclosure is too hot, then that could be causing some of those things that I talked about earlier. Another thing is if the enclosure is too small or if the enclosure is being kept on the ground. Chameleons are arboreal creatures, which means they are tree climbers. So they feel best when they are up off the ground and above our eye level. They also need lots of vertical space in order to climb around and have those proper temperature UVB gradients. So if you're rocking an enclosure that's smaller than a 2x2x4, I would encourage you to check out the shopping list on my website or even my chameleon kit and see if that's something that you can do for your chameleon, because really they need 2 feet wide by 4 foot tall for a veiled panther or Jackson's chameleon. And if your chameleon is new, they could have decreased appetite, closed eyes, dark colors, and maybe not moving around much. That's all within the normal range of a new chameleon. I would encourage you to get your kit reviewed by an expert. That can either be by myself through booking a video call with me or on chameleonforums.com. That is a great community and you can post an enclosure review there as well. But I would really encourage you that you get your enclosure and care reviewed so you have full confidence that everything you're doing right is setting your chameleon up for success. Remember, lots of hiding places, enclosure off the ground, that linear UVB, temperature is warm but not too hot, and giving them lots of places to hide. So I hope this helps you learn the signs of maybe an unhappy chameleon or a chameleon that's not thriving. I would encourage you to also watch my video, 25 signs of a sick chameleon. Some of these signs are also symptoms of a sick chameleon, but there are plenty more. So it's always a good idea to familiarize yourself with those so that you can learn any symptoms and make any necessary changes as needed. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Leave any questions or comments down below. Feel free to subscribe so you don't post a new video, and you follow Neptune and all my chameleons on social media at Neptune the Chameleon, and feel free to check out my website, neptunethechameleon.com. Always have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, that's the worst, when you feel a sneeze but don't actually get to sneeze. I'm gonna talk to you about that.